Campbell, Gillard and Kafusi off the bench.
Munster coming in because James Maloney has left camp. He's been given permission for personal reasons to head back home. As the French side, they've made a few changes as well and beaten last week by Lebanon. A big task for Jason Batiri. Speaking to him before the match, he's not a big man and he's playing front row against an Aussie side. Oriane Cologne explained to us why he's doing that, but this is the biggest test in rugby league, is it not, to play Australia in Australia?
They were beaten here last week by Lebanon, but they did have success back in 2008. The first ever test match played here, France had a win over Scotland, 36-18.
Bastien Adair in the centres. Played well last night. They did some good things last week, France. Just weren't quite good enough. And Ben Garcia played with Penrith at the Auckland Nines last year. Big night for him. Well, both teams are ready. Some debutants for the Australians tonight. A big night for him, Tom Trbojevic. His brother's not here on the field, but he is in the crowd.
He's got so many fans, and not just Manly fans, New South Wales. I think he's one of the most exciting talents in the game. Can't wait to see how he goes.
And there he is. What can you say? I mean, there's less records that there's more records that he doesn't hold, I should say. Less records he doesn't hold than he does in the game.
Amazing.
Extraordinary. There's our referee, Robert Hicks, the Englishman. Big night for him as well. He was telling me, Cairns last week, happy to be in the cooler weather of Canberra. Put a jumper on, he said last night. There's another debutant for the Kangaroos. He's already played a test for Fiji. As the countdown is on, we're about to get underway. Australia first use of the football, defending the southern end of Canberra Stadium. And McLean, his first hit up of the night. Important they start well here, France, and try and get themselves into the game. As Campbell Gillard is tackled. 3 in the tackle there for France as they try and slow it down, and they're allowed to as well. Frizzell. Numbers in the tackle again from France. Garcia, one of those defenders. Smith looking for a 40-20. There's no one back there. It's not going to get across the touchline, but France are going to be pinned inside their 20. Good kick, good chase, and Bergal forced back in some strong Kangaroo defence.
This will be a problem for France. A very good kick from Cam Smith, of course, but getting out of their territory, they are a noticeably smaller team. Last week they tried to move the ball around early. I'm not sure if they'll do that again.
Almost ducked his head straight into the knee there, I thought, there of Munster. Good Ebza. His father played for France in 1995 in the World Cup. Not a bad record to have. Follow your father into the World Cup and represent your country. Speaking of a son with a famous father, Jason Batiri, son of Taz, plays it. The older league fans will know Taz from Penrith and development in the game. Now Billy Slater returning it. They want to give him room. Tackled there by Julien. They just couldn't get out of their own half there, France, and the Aussies with some field position now. Is Mansour. Isn't it great to see Josh Mansour back playing for the Kangaroos after that knee injury last year?
Yeah, and he will be a handful. He's so good at getting those tough meters from his own line, although they're not so tough, are they? After 3 tackles, the Aussies into French territory.
Morgan. 10 metres into French territory. Smith, Maguire. Last tackle here for the Kangaroos. They're 30 metres away. Go to the right. Morgan with the kick, high. It's to the wing of Yaha. They can't get it, France. It's been kicked ahead by Chambers and into touch. Should be a France loosened feet.
He's good under high kicks. Just see it comes up here from Morgan. Morgan playing on the right side tonight. Well done, Tommy Trbojevic.
I'm with you, Gary. As we look at Michael Morgan, Tom Trbojevic, I thought his brother Jake was outstanding coming through the under-20s. And then Tom joined him the year later. And I thought this bloke is going to be a superstar. And unluckily for him, hurt his ankle just before Origin was named earlier this year. Otherwise, I reckon he would have been in that Blues jersey.
Yeah, well, one of those players that it's more common nowadays, isn't it, that players play for their country before they get to play for their state. And Tommy is in that category. But yeah, interestingly, the French
offload under
side,
pressure.
and this was one of the features of their play last week, getting offloads away in the tackle.
Bages, strong run, but they are outsized. Debs are wanting to quick play the ball as Julien plays it. Rouge back on the inside, better from France. Over the 40, last tackle. Give them some confidence. Marginet now with the kick. It's between Mansour and Slater, so Billy lets Josh Mansour take it. And that was a much better set from France.
Yeah, very good set. A little bit of footwork on the left side from Rouge, and then that kick 2 passes wide. It brought the Australian defenders up, and now they have a bit of work to do to come out of their own territory.
They've got themselves through 2 sets, France, and they've defended solidly enough as Chambers plays it. Smith kicking early, looking for the 40-20. Caralla's got to get the skates on, but it doesn't take a Kangaroo's bounce. But look at the chase. The green and gold jerseys are down there in numbers and monstered by Dugan. As we head downstairs for the first time tonight, Brett Kamali.
Yeah, well, 2 things, Potsy. Obviously, we heard that Cooper Cronk said kicking game is very important for the Australian side. And without Cooper Cronk, the dominant kicker, Cameron Smithson's that's taking control of that. And for the French side, this is probably the biggest game of their lives. They're playing Australia. They're probably playing some of their heroes. So certainly up for the challenge.
Plenty of French supporters here too. A lot have come down from Sydney. A lot have joined the camp this week. They're off to Perth tomorrow. Play England next week. 15 short of halfway. Bousquet plays it on the short side. One thing we did notice last week, the last tackle, they did like to throw it around. They did like to be expansive, but they've got to get to their kick on the last.
Yeah, it ended up in the hands of the back rower. I'm not sure that he knew it was the last tackle. You're right, Mark. They do need to get a kick away. And those first couple of sets were fantastic for France. And even that set we just saw, showing some enterprise with the football in hand. Australia's got a good line out to the left here.
Give space, Jason.
Clean under pressure. Munster up quickly. Arnaud in defence. 40 metres away though. Now Smith. Thought about passing to Graham, but took the tackle. Bateria's in there. So to Rouge. Out of acting half, Munster finds McLean. They had the arm free, but there was no one to pass to. Arnaud, one of the defenders, injured Frenchman on the ground as well. That doesn't help in the defensive line. Did he run behind a man there, Morgan? Kick for the winger, Trebojevic, who picks it up. Did he get it down?
Time off. Okay, I'm taking the obstruction. Mate, it's tackle 4. Mate, I have a try. Can you check for a possible obstruction back there, please?
Okay, Angus, we're looking at possible obstruction, centre field.
Julian.
Yeah, I think we need to have a look before the kick. Because, please, yeah. So it's as it goes through and behind there. Have we got the angle from behind the post on that? It's the effect on the French defence. Here we are. If we can pause it. No, sorry, keep going, I'll tell you when, sorry. Pause now, and just go through nice and slow from here. It's the effect on the France 11. So he's in possession, goes behind, and in close proximity. Kicks the ball and takes an advantage. Yeah, we've got no try on this. So we've got a decision to go into the board.
I think that's fair enough too, but what about the pickup from Trebojevic?
Would have been a nice first test try, but not to be.
That's a fair call too, the no try.
No try, obstruction.
But it was well constructed apart from that from the Australians, but
Right here,
outstanding pick-up. While that was happening, Cameron Smith was getting some treatment to a cheekbone too. His right cheek, just getting some ice put on that, maybe caught the knock there. And France, player that I mentioned that was injured, is still on the field. I think it might have been Farges, skipper.
Here, boys, hold here. Hold, hold. Yeah, hold here, hold. It's a good technique. Hold, go.
So they survive there, France. Beautifully weighted kick from Morgan. Bousquet launched it over the top. Gillard was involved. Frizzell was there as well. There is Farges. Now that they're playing, they seem to be playing a bit quicker this week than they did last week against Lebanon too. France stepping it up a bit. They need to. Batiri.
They seem to have more of a plan with the football, and that left side, they've had some success, and I think Farges wants to go there again.
They come the other way. Genet, now Julien. Last tackle, they're inside the 30. They'll be able to get an attacking kick away. It's to the wing of Mansour. Here comes Bergal. He got blocked by Dugan. He's taken the big dive, Bergal.
No, mate, I've got the man within the 10 first. Obstruction. It's offside.
Inside the 10.
Within the 10.
Right, so a penalty to Australia. It would have had to be a penalty to France if that player wasn't offside. He was well taken out, wasn't he, by...
He did milk it, though.
Josh Dugan.
But it was a good set there from France to get down the other end. Here's the replay. Who's in front? Who's in front?
No one.
Who was in front?
Tough call.
Maguire. McLean straight through. Where's the support? They can't link with him. Right down the middle. Needs a quick play, the ball. Smith, out of acting half, comes back to the left to Maguire. Taken there by Batiri. Inside the 20 now. Cameron Smith at acting half. Tries to go across to play the ball. Touched there by France. Back to 0. This will take some defending. Billy Slater away from one. Can't get away from Farges. Plays it now. 5 out. Chambers. He's over the line but forced back. Terrific goal line defence on this occasion from the Frenchman. Morgan. Smith. Short ball. McLean. They're there again. France in numbers. 3 in the tackle. Bousquet was around the legs. Julien over the top. Smith. Maguire. Garcia trying to wrap the ball up there with Budebza. They're only 5 metres away here, the Kangaroos. Smith. And in front of Munster. Slater slightly behind him. Kicking. And France, have they knocked it on? I think they did. Bergal with the error. They've done so well to defend that set.
They did very well. It wasn't a great option in the end from Billy Slater. That's a tough one, wasn't it? Bouncing around, skewing on the ground there. Bergal just couldn't clean it up. Correct call. It was knocked forward. Another chance for Australia. They're just hanging on, France.
Play the ball. Don't dive. Come on, let's get bound. Let's get bound. Heads first feet. Make sure you bind, John. Make sure we bind here. Okay, make sure you bind in. Heads in. Mark head. Wait for me, please. Hang on. No, mate. Mate, you've got to bind. You've got to bind here in this front row. You can't be out the back like you are. Get your arm over and bind. No, you're not, mate. Bind. It's a scrum, mate. We get him binding in. Cameron, get your head in. Wait for me, please. Head, Cameron. Hold. Ball. Out.
So Morgan with a dummy to Slater. Batiri making the tackle. That's the goal line ahead of him. Smith, ball, McLean, and up quickly to make a terrific tackle was the centre Arnaud. And now the mistake in the play. The ball means a penalty.
Mate, he plays the ball. Clear the road.
They will do well to hold on here, France.
Goal line, 2.
Don't think Cam Smith wants to take the two.
Just see that mark under the right eye there of Cameron. Takes the tap. Now Graham, I know, with the tackle again. Shy of the goal line. Maguire slipping and falling, and luckily there wasn't a clash of heads. Budebsa was the man. Now Regan Campbell-Gillard is only a metre away from the line. They're muscling up here, France, holding on. Smith, Munster, Graham, straight over one, straight over another. They can't stop Wade Graham from that close, and Wade Graham gets his first try for Australia, and they lead 4-0 with a kick to come. Weight of possession finally tells.
Very brave, the French, defending that, but it was the third set in a row, and they just wore them down. He ran a very good line, Wade Graham. You see the ball here, the short ball, spins in one tackle, gets out of another. Good work.
Kick to come, Australia lead 4-0. Most teams would have trouble keeping Australia out after those consecutive sets. Wade Graham straight over the top of Rush. And it was very tough for Corella to hold on. But they, despite the fact they conceded the try, they will take some comfort out of it. It took 3 sets for the Aussies to get there. Cameron Smith to try and convert this try. So 12 minutes for the Australians to come up with the first try. And that was on the back of 3 consecutive sets.
They've had to work very hard for it. Apart from a clean line break by Jordan McLean, they have had to work hard, and they've had a fair bit of good possession there, Australia.
Over 60% possession, and like last week against England, 70% of the game has been played down this end. Cameron Smith. There's that mark under the eye. Just to make it a 6-point lead for the Kangaroos. He doesn't miss many, but he missed that one. 4-0, Australia over France.
Yeah, we just have a look here. Malmending is going to have some very tough questions or answers to come up with spots for front rows, for back rows. We see here Wade Graham scoring the try. It's a whole new starting forward pack apart from the hooker, Cameron Smith. So Wade Graham left edge, Tyson Frizzell on the right edge, Josh Maguire playing lock. And it was a nice sign of patience there from the Australian side. Yes, they had plenty of ball, but their patience and maturity showed there.
Mark Corella, who's born in Darlinghurst, of Egyptian parents, but qualifies for France on the residency rule. Gillard, McLean was instrumental in some big hit-ups, the 2 front rowers that led to that try.
To look at the future of the Australian forward pack. Those 2 young front rowers, McLean and Campbell-Gillard, just enormous.
Strong run again. Danger here for France. Now Smith out of acting half. Up quickly was Julien. Now Maguire. They don't want to concede back-to-back. There's a Frenchman in all sorts of trouble. It is Budebsa. He's got a stinger to the shoulder, I think. Now Dugan into half a gap. Marjane making the tackle. It is the last. Out of acting half, Smith, Slater. Backhanded Graham. Will he get a double? He's over. Gets it down. Wade Graham a double with inside 2 minutes. And Australia now lead by 8.
Tommy, an Aussie player was going to score the first 2 tries. I wouldn't have picked Wade Graham to do it, but he's backing up the middle. We're on the fringe here, the edge, very well. They just kept coming at them with a couple of short balls. Strong work from Dugan. The next play, he just goes down the short side again without much room to move. Smith, Slater back to Graham. Down it goes. Good try.
8-0 with a kick to come. The Aussies in front. Two tries tonight for Wade Graham. 2 tries in 2 minutes and just felt that set from the Australians. They put their foot down there. That first set after the points from Graham initially, and France lost the player as well. Cameron Smith with a chance to make it a 10-point lead.
French side hasn't had the football since their 4th set, and they didn't kick it. They got to the halfway and got tackled with the ball. Haven't had the ball for about the last 6 minutes since then.
Seems longer than that. It just seems that way.
And it makes it difficult to score.
And will have an impact on the back end of the game, and Smith this time corrects the radar, and Australia lead by 10 points to 0.
We just have a look here of Australia's momentum. When they get a quick play of the ball, they come extremely flat and they come fast. I talk about Cameron Smith being the most influential player in the game at the moment. The width they get off his dummy half passing to get that momentum with that big pack of forwards rolling forward. Then Cameron just picks and chooses where he goes. He goes left, he goes right. And when they get the French side going backwards, you watch the pace the Australian side comes over the advantage line, and they play flat and they play very short passing.
The injured Frenchman was John Budevza. Copped a stinger to the shoulder, but he's still out there. Eloi Pelissier is warming up, the man that was selected at hooker. Well, here they come again, the Australians. There's some strong defence. Bousquet involved. Terrific hit up from Campbell Gillard. One from Tyson Frizzell. Is it my imagination, or have they put the foot down?
Well, Frizzell just did, that's for sure.
15 short of halfway. Smith, Morgan, Chambers bounced away from one, offload back to Morgan. Maguire into French territory again. This is their 10th set of the game for the Australians. France have had it for 4. Munster pushing away from 2, 3, 4, still going away from another. Trying to link here with Chambers. He's finally taken to ground, but a few missed tackles there for France. Adair with the defence. Morgan, Campbell Gillard. That's the 30-metre line he'll play it on. It's the last tackle here for the Australians. Morgan, they're going to run it. Chambers with the kick, and well picked up, well positioned and well taken by Mark Corella.
Really good stuff. It was a tough kick through. He does that so well, those end-of-set kicks on the short side. Will Chambers, but well read by the fullback, the French fullback.
Can they get down the other end, away from here? They're about to make a couple of changes here. France as well. Here's a strong run. High tackle on Yaha. The French thought. The referee said no. With no one to pass to. He gives it to the 5'8". Marginet. It's coming from the field, Budevza for Eloi Pelissier to go on. So they've got no dummy half at the moment. That's a sloppy play, the ball.
No, mate. He's played it forward. It's a scrum.
Yaha thought it was a high shot here. Up off the ball, it's all right. Maxime Herold coming on as well for France.
Just let me get a hold of it.
They don't need to give cheap turnovers.
Forward, mate, for me. It's a knock-on. He's got to play the ball, mate. That's the way it goes. Let's get his heads in. Cameron, head in. Find in the second row. Get your head in, Mark. Heads in. Head, Cameron. Stay, Theo. Out.
Chambers, one-on-one here with Adair, pushing towards the touchline, and it just stays in. There's some good, strong French defence. Garcia involved, and Batiri is there also. Gillard, good defence again, and Pelissier over the top, and also involved Herold. Smith, hit as he passed it. Quick hands, Graham. Long ball, Mansour, who dropped it. I think he was looking to see where he could go. Just took his eyes off the footy.
It was no gimme if he'd caught it. It was a lot of work to do there off that long ball from Slater. They had him covered. Inside defenders coming, but he was entitled to catch that one, Josh Mansour.
Don't just lie in there. Okay? Let's get bound first.
How to get out of this territory.
First. Make sure your arms open, mate. Let's bind. Heads in. We need a loose. Elway, you loose. Head in, Millie. Head, mate. On me, please. Wait. Remy, wait for me. Elway, tit. Ball now, stay there. Out.
Comes short side near the touch line. That's dangerous for France. Oh, why did you do that? No, it was tackled.
Perhaps that works in France and in Super League, but players here are so strong at holding you up and getting the reinforcements from the inside and driving you over the sideline.
It means you've only got one way to go from the next play the ball as well. Right. Makes the next tackle easier for the Kangaroos. And here's a decent run from Pelissier, who impressed at times last week against Lebanon. You'll remember that moment. Now the kick for the touchline, looking for 40-20, and Slater is back there. Now broken field play here, Slater and Travojevic. At least France have got down the other end of the field. Chambers. Like to see a change from Australian coach Mal Meninga. Frizzell. Smith looking for another 40-20, or a 40-20 I should say, but it's straight down the middle of the park. Burgal. And there is just green and gold jerseys in front of him, and only one Frenchman back there at the moment.
Yeah, and we're at that halfway mark of the first half. There's some big French forwards here. They've done a lot of defending around the middle. They've been on the back foot. They'll be looking for a replacement or a breather at least.
I see still in the Australian defensive line as Harold takes it forward. That's the 30-metre line he'll play it on. 10-0, Kangaroos for France. Genet stepping nicely, Julien, but good defence on the inside from Munster and Maguire. Bousquet, the offload. Here's a break. Marginet, Carella's with him. He kicks for his fullback. Bounce important. He just doesn't get it. And Mansour has come up with it for Australia. Best player of the night for France. They just didn't get the bounce.
Enterprising stuff. Just wondering if a pass would have been a better bet. Or you're right, Mark, if it had bounced up, Carella looked like he was home and hosed.
Was that a play the ball, or was that... I think he's momentum. I don't think I heard the referee call either. Anyway, McLean plays it. Munster. Now Graham, offload to Dugan. He was absolutely smashed too by Marginet as well as he passed it. Frizzell. Fall awkwardly there.
I think he might have fallen head first.
He's up slowly. Shoulder fell awkwardly on the playing surface is outstanding, but it is a bit firm underfoot. Maguire, last tackle. Smith kicking for Slater. Well done, Mark Carella. Under pressure, beats Slater and then returns it. He is going to go all the way. Mark Carella is going to score the try of a lifetime. He's going to run 90 metres against the Kangaroos in Australia and score a French try. What play from the Frenchman. 10-4 with a kick to come. That'll go in the scrapbook.
That is a massive highlight for the French team, for Mark Carella himself. He's picked up the kick through, and the man he's beaten, well, it was the fullback, the Aussie fullback chasing through, and this play from Smith to Slater works so often. Billy can't get two hands to him, and away he goes. The only person in front of him was the referee for a moment. Mark Carella striding out, Josh Dugan chasing, but he's going to get there, and every French fan in the stadium has got excited, pumped.
Australia 10, France 4 with a kick to come. Well, that is the highlight of a career, the highlight of a lifetime. Forget your career. Darlinghurst-born, Egyptian parents, and here he is scoring a try, not just a try. It doesn't matter who you are. He's played one game for the Roosters against Canberra. And Mark Carella, the try scorer. What a try, what a moment for a young man born in Darlinghurst of Egyptian parents who played one NRL game for the Roosters against the Canberra Raiders and has scored a try that players dream about at any level, let alone in a World Cup against Australia.
Yeah, well, he's a French hero, for the moment anyway. What a wonderful play.
(10-6), the Frenchmen are back to within 4.
Very pleasing that you guys gave Mark Corella a huge rap, because I thought he was one of French's best players last week as well. He tried so hard, and as you said, they're in this contest. This would be a highlight of his career. And with Lebanon beating France last week, they need to at least beat Australia or England to progress forward. Are we thinking there is a great scalp tonight?
Not a long way to go.
Got to admit, I'm not thinking that way, Noddy, but
anything's possible. But look, I was looking around the ground when that try was scored. The French fans in the southeastern corner were going berserk. I was looking down at the bench. They were going nuts.
Ask the French coach, Aurélien Colony, is he happy with a scoreline 10-6 after 25 minutes? He's over the moon. And they have been courageous.
They have been. And the defence has been good. Only conceding the 2 tries at the moment. Long way to go. Belissier and the penalty. Edouard Belissier hitting the penalty there for the Frenchman. Look, we did see last week against Lebanon that they hit hard in defence. They play with a bit of flair. They just lack that extra quality that Mitch Moses had, for example, for Lebanon last week to get Lebanon home. They don't have the class that the Aussies have, but what we saw last week is they will fight right to the end.
Yeah, they sure will. They were in that game right to the death. They haven't had a tackle in Australia's 20 and the opposition's 20 yet they're so close.
Can they get in there? They do now. Agers, it goes on the outside to Garcia in front of the French quarter here at Canberra Stadium. Thierry, Marginet, Julien. They're only 5 metres away here, France. Can they score and perhaps hit the lead? Belissier out of acting half. Can't get away from Munster. Smith's there as well. For the first time, the Australian defence really under the pump. Long ball back to Marginet. Can they get a repeat set? No. Billy Slater is back there, and Billy Slater tidies up again.
And it wasn't an easy one either. A rolling ball, bouncing low, difficult, Billy, for Billy, but of course he cleaned it up. And now some work to do for Australia. Travojevic trying to get them on the front foot.
.25 out from their own line as Woods is on the field. There is a long way to go, and they didn't, I'm sure they wanted to play as well as they could. There's the kick coming here from Morgan, straight down the throat of the try scorer. But they can't sit down at the moment, the Frenchmen on the bench. They're starting to believe. Look at them, all the interchange are up. The officials are up. All of a sudden, they're starting to think,
there's some hope.
Over the halfway line they go. Yaha plays it. Marginet. Just shy of the 40-metre line. Belissier. Marginet. Back here to Herald. He's up to the 30. Woods the tackler. Maguire, Smith and Graham are there as well. Ball back on the inside to Marguerite, and they were waiting for him, weren't they? Last tackle. They come the short side. Just kick it for touch.
I wanted to see a bomb. I wanted to see something there. Another attempt to score, but perhaps they do need to take a bit of a breather. It's been frantic, the pace in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, that is the danger for them, isn't it? What are we down to? 11 minutes to go until half-time. The fact that they've worked so hard, and as we've seen in a number of games so far in this Rugby League World Cup, Tries come in spurts, and particularly at the back ends of halves where some tired players are on the field.
Heads. Ball. Stay there, Remy. Out!
Mansour. Let's see if the Aussie can get down the other end quickly or easily. Trbojevic, solid tackle, the head rock back. And the penalty.
2 in a row. We had that one, and then you. Let's clear the rope.
One of their goals, I believe, would have been to slow down the Australian, play the ball. Of course, a lot of big men out there for Australia, getting them on the front foot. They need to do that, but the risk always is those penalties, those piggybacks.
Frizzell. Woods. Clemmer. Charging, trying to run over the top of Julien, who made the tackle. Got some help. Smith. Maguire. Morgan. Farges with the tackle. Smith. Woods. Ball was flat at best, I think. 10 metres away. Smith. Clemmer. Out the back, Munster. He's going to get a hat-trick in the first half. Wade Graham is over. That was a little bit too easy, but can you believe it? Wade Graham, a hat-trick in the first half of his first match starting for Australia.
Got to say I can't, but he's in the right place. Once again, one man to beat. Wade Graham as they shift the ball to the left. They did march upfield relatively easily this time. Munster just gives him the short ball. Over he goes. 3.
14-6, Australia over France, kick to come. Well, he scored a hat-trick here for Cronulla in round 2. If you'd known that, you might have been on him, Gary.
Loves this ground.
3 tries in a test match, 3 tries in your first starting test match, and Mal's bought him off. Well, that was a little bit too easy from France, but Wade Graham has been substituted, replaced after scoring his second hat-trick at this venue this year.
A hat-trick for Australia. I think whilst he's happy and he's smiling and he's high-fiving his mates, he's on a roll. Wouldn't you love to?
Can I get 4 before
Can I get
half
4? Can I make it? What can this be? But Felice Kaufusi on for his first taste of Test match football.
He scored 3 tries for Cronulla in round 2. Wade Graham in the NRL this year. Now, that was a little bit too easy. In reality, France have done so well. That danger period now as we get inside that final 10 minutes. And that kick into touch sent maybe the wrong message. You know, the Australians think, OK, these guys are struggling. As now Cameron Smith adds the extra 2. And 16 points to 6. The lead is back to 10.
Then we see Tyson Frizzell will come over to the left edge, which is where all the tries have been scored for Australia. So he'll take Wade Graham's position here as the left edge. And for Felice Kaufusi, I believe, is the best back rower in the competition. Just keep an eye on this kid. He's on the right edge. He played for the Melbourne Storm this year, and he is a wonderful player.
There he is. And if Tyson Frizzell scores, Wade Graham will be, are you serious? Well, France have got to get themselves sorted here so they don't concede again before half-time. Strong defence. They're certainly hitting hard. Off the line, Thierry. Good tackle. So there is Margalet, Thibaut Margalet in 14. There's Kaufusi.
He really did some damage in the finals for Melbourne playing on that right edge, Kaufusi.
Woods, Clemmer, here they come, Munster, Frizzell, Dugan down the touchline, looking for support, the dummy, now he puts the foot down, Josh Dugan for the corner, and that is a sensational Kangaroos try from one end to the other. We're going to check though.
We're going to try. Can we check the touchline and the grounding, please?
It was fine for mine.
Cheers, Angus. So in possession. Feet are in the air, so we've no problem about that. Just need to confirm whether the fingers remain on the ball. We might need another angle from the opposite corner. That sometimes helps us. Nice and slow again. So he's in possession there. Vision goes blurred. Yeah, the side angle. Yeah, if those are the best two angles that you've got, unless you've got anything else. If you want to go a little bit faster on this. Yeah. We've got a decision, we're going to the board.
This will be a try, and what a try to Josh Dugan. It is now 20 points to 6. Josh Dugan with the try.
Never any doubt for me that he put that down, he ground, and he's done that so often at this stadium. Of course, a former Raiders player. Scored some wonderful tries, but he'll be so happy with that effort. Josh Dugan, absolute ripper. The ball about 50 metres out.
Well, 20 points to 6 with a kick to come. It wasn't that long ago that it was 10 points to 6. And they kicked into touch, France, when they had a bit of a roll. And yes, it gave them a chance to have a breather, but I just think it took the impetus away from them.
They should have been trying to score. Any opportunity in that part of the field against Australia, they should be doing everything they can to score points. Which is easier said than done.
Absolutely. Jason Batiri coming from the field, he's been terrific. The lock forward has been moved up the front row for France for this game. Cameron Smith, that's what he has in front of him. It's not a bad strike, but just stays out to the left. And the lead for the Kangaroos is 14.
Just want you to have a think about Josh Dugan, the man that does score this strike. Wonderful football here from Australia. Short passing, linking passing. And Dugan now, who is in space, throws the dummy. 2009, he made his debut. He has played fullback his whole career. He only plays centre as a rep football player. So for New South Wales and Australia, he leads this competition for metres run. He is damaging. I'd love to see him have an excellent career at the Sharks as a centre.
20 points to 6 in the blink of an eye. That's what can happen. They've scored their 4 tries in bunches, the Kangaroos. Wade Graham got 2 in 2 minutes. Now they've scored another 2 in 3. There's a danger here for France that they might score another one before half-time. They've been gallant so far, the Frenchmen, but you don't give a Kangaroo player a sniff here. Otherwise, they'll run straight over you. Woods. Clemmer's been good in those plays too, with the ball out the back, turning his back. Almost like the little run around. Smith cuts out Clemmer and Maguire. Here they come again. Munster. Munster with the dummy. Back on the inside. Brazil dropped it. I think Corella thought if he caught it again, he was away down the other end.
He was seeing himself under the post at the far end. Unfortunately there for the Kangaroos. The ball inside from Munster. Just not held. He should have held on to that, Tyson Frizzell. Unfortunately, that didn't stick. Enterprising play.
Head in. Make sure you bind. Bind over. Stand up, boys. That's not a scrum. We need to bind, guys. Bind in. Bind. Get your heads in. Bind in. Head in, Elwa. Aaron, keep your head down. Ball in. Elwa, head. Out.
Just over 3 minutes remain until half-time. They've only had 1 incomplete set in the game, France. They just haven't had enough of the footy, particularly down the other end of the field.
I think the coach Coloni would be quite happy with a lot of things his side has done tonight. A few little tweaks to how they get themselves out of this territory will help at half-time.
Sibo Magale. Good run. Last tackle. Pelissier at acting half. Genet, the kick into the corner. Will it just have too much on it? It does. Dangerous here. 7 tackles set, 3 out from half time.
Yeah, and of course, if you do kick the ball dead or you make a mistake in that zone, the team bringing the ball out gets a 0 tackle. And that's this one. You get the extra tackle, a massive advantage.
Trebojevic, 5 short of halfway. Kaufusi. Strong defence again from France. Pelissier involved in the tackle. Clemmer runs at Pelissier, who makes the tackle again. 35 metres away. Woods. Munster. Still an overrun it, so Munster had to take the tackle. There was 3 of them there. Julien, the last man up. Maguire. Morgan. Kaufusi spinning. He's only 10 away from the line. Last tackle. Smith kicking. There's no chase. But in the end, Maguire got there, and Carella, I think at first he thought it was going over the dead ball line, but he had to play at it.
A little bit of spin on that from Cam Smith, and it was just didn't go straight. It kind of hugged the line a little bit, but he had to play at it. Josh Maguire coming through.
He was the only chaser. They'll be in no hurry here, France. There's an injured player.
Hey, we're going to get going.
Here's the try scorer.
Ready?
I think France will be hoping the half-time siren comes quickly. Mansour under it. Josh Mansour is bigger than some of the forwards for France.
He is.
There's
There's nothing wrong with their tackling technique. The French side.
Courage.
Fantastic.
Morgan, Chambers with a little bit of room to move. And Trebojevic dropped it. Now Carella again. He can't do it twice, can he? He's got Slater to beat, though. And he can't get away from Billy Slater this time. Wow.
Well, maybe it's the French that can score some points before half-time. They've got a long way to go.
Mark Carella's had a half of football he will never forget. 30 seconds to the break.
Hold this 10. Hold, go.
Julien.
The NRL scouts may be out at half-time for Mark Carella.
Pelissier. The offload. Harrell looking for support. There was none there. Only seconds remain. Will they put a high ball up? Arges, he does. To the wing of Trebojevic. Here they come, France, and Trebojevic has lost it. But the siren in the background means it's half-time. And an entertaining first half of rugby league sees Australia lead France by 20 points to 6. 4 tries to 1. The possession well in control of the Australians. You've got to give it to France after 40 minutes. They have fought hard. They've been courageous. So only trail by 14 points at the break. Wade Graham, a hat-trick in the first half. As we head downstairs to Brett Camorley.
Well, Cam, sum up the first 40 minutes. Tries in patches. Yeah, that probably sums up our 40 minutes best. Noddy, a bit patchy, but you know, some quality footy played. We just got a little bit overexcited at times, mate, when we see some space or some opportunities where should have just taken the tackle instead of trying to get offloads or some tricky kicks away.
So is that the key to playing a side like this where there's space and opportunities, and you probably are expected to win? Your discipline
Well, it is. It's our discipline and our standards, really. We come here with a lot of respect for the French, and we need to try and play the way we want to progress through this tournament.
Thanks, Cam. Good luck second half. Also got Remy, 20 points to 6 at half-time. Are you happy? Are you pleased? Or tell us how you're feeling.
We know it will be tough, but it was a good half for us, and the boys make a good half, so good work. So we need to keep going and finish the set very good because they play too fast.
Yeah, well, good luck second half.
Good stuff. Half-time here at Canberra Stadium. It is Australia 20, France 6. Second half about to get underway. The Australians coming back out. The Frenchmen as well. 20 points to 6. The Kangaroos over France. 4 tries to 1. Halfway through that first half. In fact, half an hour into the first half. It was just 10-6 to the Australians with France on the attack. It's Cameron Smith setting the record tonight for the most consecutive games for Australia in Test football. 36, can you believe it? 2009, he made his debut. And the Frenchmen at half-time, you could see in the dressing room, they are up for this in the second half.
They were excited. That's about as good as they can play, and their coach was very happy, I imagine, with them sticking to the game plan. Ball control, great. Slowed the Aussies down and scored a try against a run of play.
Onside, please.
Can they do it for another 40 minutes? Aaron Woods started on the bench, now on the field. Referee Robert Hicks signals time on. Second half is underway. It was a terrific first half from France, despite the fact they're down by 14. They had very little possession or field position, and they really pushed the Aussies. Can they continue that in this second half? Yaha. Fages, and this is Thibaut Margalet. Kaufusi, one of the defenders. Harold. Just shy of the 40. The kick here is straight down the throat of Billy Slater. So danger for France, but it's a reasonable chase from them. They're in numbers in a straight line.
Difficult to kick a 40-20 when Billy Slater's patrolling that sideline. He read it very, very well. They won't be displeased with that first set after half-time. France, and now the job again. Slow down this Australian attack.
Mansour almost breaking through the other side. Frenchman in trouble in the back play. In real trouble too. And the penalty, I'm not sure who it is. And it's, I know, I think the centre.
Time off.
Dislocated elbow perhaps, or an elbow injury.
It's here.
Or an arm injury at the very least.
See him in the background there while Mansour's being tackled, so it's happened in the earlier play.
Swinging awkwardly.
Just reeled out of that.
While that injury is on, let's go down to the touchline. Brett Kamali.
When the French change room, they obviously had some high praises. They said they went 20 minutes without the football, which is why Australia were able to score some points. Big key for the second half is defenders one line. They thought they had a scattered defensive line when they leaked those tries, and discipline extremely important for the French team. And for the Australian point of view, I think they're looking at also tonight, but more ahead for the rest of the tournament. Big focus was play through the middle. So keep punching those big forwards around the dummy half, play through the middle, and patience in attack and some better good ball execution. So it's a little bit about tonight, but I think it's more about some better quality opposition in the future.
Not a good start in the second half for France. As Wade Graham, a hat-trick in the first half. Olivier Arnaud is the man that's injured. Doctor's out there with him. Trying to make his jumper into a sling, looks like. No, he's staying on. Seriously? He's staying on, Gary.
Well, they breed him tough, don't they?
Wow.
I thought for sure he was heading off. They were just trying to ease the pain.
I thought they were, exactly. I thought the doctor was giving him some of that Novocaine and they were putting his arm in a sling.
The splint, and now playing on with him still there.
Wow. This shows you what it means to these Frenchmen to stay out there and play against the Kangaroos. They're only 10 metres away here, Australia. Maguire, Woods.
Stay out there.
4 metres away. He's got one arm by his side. Slater, he can't make a tackle, surely. Munster runs past Arnaud and scores the try. It had to come. They ran at Olivier Arnaud. He couldn't make the tackle. He tried, he was gallant, but he couldn't stop Cameron Munster on debut from scoring a try.
He's such a talent, Cameron Munster. Had a great State of Origin series for Queensland, or that last game, and now you just see with a bit of space, throws the dummy. He's awkward, he's hard to tackle, and he's very quick as well.
24-6 with a kick to come. It's all well and good to be courageous, but there are times when sometimes you have to overrule the courage for the good of the team.
I think that's going to happen too. Number 15, Roosh, is preparing to come on to the field as a replacement, and he would have to be for Arnaud. But good work there, Cameron Munster.
He hasn't had too many easy kicks tonight, Cameron Smith. Another one from the touchline. Carl Roosh getting ready to come on, I think, for France. Olivier Arnaud will come from the field. You can just see him under the goalpost there. It's Cameron Smith.
He's getting practice on this left side, isn't he? Because that's where they're scoring all their tries, Australia, on the left edge.
10 out of 10 for courage for staying out there, but sadly, as the missed tackle that led to the try, as Cameron Smith has little trouble in converting that. Terrific kick from the touchline. 26-6, the Kangaroos over France.
Yeah, and you see here this try just set up by the Melbourne Storm, 9, 1 and 6. Munster, Smith and Slater. Slater goes into the halfback position there and pushes Cameron Munster wide. Melbourne Storm, who won the NRL Premiership by 28 points, a class performance, and you're just seeing those combinations settling in here in the Australian side.
Here's Olivier Arnaud. So it'll need a bit of a reshuffle here. Carl Roosh going on. He started the game at lock, wearing jersey number 15. Kalama. Maguire. 10 short of halfway. Kangaroos into the field. Morgan, Kapusi. Getting a roll on here, the Australians. Smith out of acting half. Maguire. Been busy tonight, Josh Maguire. Last tackle here for the Australians as France slow to play the ball down. Who wants it? Tom Trbojevic. It went backwards. Chambers. It's on the ground. Who wants it?
Turnover here. It's a turnover here, boys.
Referee says changeover. Went backwards from Trbojevic.
Well,
Went back.
Yeah, it did, but he's ruled a mistake,
That one.
by Australia.
If you run slowly into the defence, that's what's going to happen to you. Just trying to be a settler there, Burgal, but he was monstered. Here's the other winger, Yaha. Another change being made early in the second half by France. They made 2 interchange in the first 5 minutes, one through injury and one they decided, I think, Harold coming from the field to allow this man to come back on, Bousquet. Clemmer, strong defence. Right in the middle of Canberra Stadium. Last tackle. Arges with the kick and Trbojevic with the trap. Good chase again here from France. In numbers, straight line again. Nowhere for Tom Trbojevic to go.
He's been relatively quiet, Tom Trbojevic, and he had a try disallowed early in the first half, but they have played a lot to their left side, Australia, and had plenty of success. 5 tries all down there. The
Smith
other wing.
looking for another 40-20. Carella's got to get there. Bounce important. It's a French bounce. Terrific kick, terrific chase. There's not a Frenchman within cooee of the play the ball. Carella's got to slow down to let his teammates get back there. Strong defence from Dugan. They'll do well to get out of here, France. Oh, well, the penalty.
They needed that. They would have struggled to get to the 20-metre line, I think, within the tackles, but the Aussies over keen there.
He just does everything so well, Cameron Smith. Kicking early, kicking to space. If it was a 40-20, a bonus, but in the corner, just everything well. Nice tackle from Josh Dugan on Burgal, who got monstered the other side of the field last set. Roosh plays it. Oh, quickly, Maguire putting on a solid shot on Thibaut Margalet, and the penalty. Woods went on with it.
He did well, Margalet. He got smashed by Woods. It wasn't the wisest pass from his 5'8", very late. Well, Maguire's the man with the first impact.
They haven't taken a backward step all night, France.
Hold, David, hold.
Can they get rewarded with some more points here? They haven't had much footy down this end of the field.
0. 0.
They've lost the ball, France. And Slater has come up with it. A mistake on the first tackle.
Hold now, hold. Hold, go.
Chambers.
Move. Go.
Smith. Maguire. Back to Smith. Kaufusi now. Runs it. Margalet, who makes the tackle. 30 out from the line. Smith. Strong defence again from France. They're there in numbers. Julien, who spent some time at Wynnum in the Queensland Cup for about 6 months. One of the defenders. Now, munched up. Frizzell, straight and hard. They couldn't stop him. Tyson Frizzell was like a runaway train. Straight over the top of them. Corella had no chance. 30 points to 6 with a kick to come.
He knows no other way, Tyson Frizzell. Just look at him steam onto this pass on the left. It just drops back under Munster. Away he goes through the line, beats the last line of defence and slams it down.
6th try, 36 kick to come. %60 possession the Aussies have had. I mean, it's no surprise they'd be leading by this score with that much possession and field position.
They will win any game with that much possession, but especially against a side they can't afford to give away 3.
.24 points the lead, but if you look at the way France have conceded the points. In the first half, they got caught on the last tackle. Changeover. The Aussies got 2 tries. They were attacking and kicked into touch. The Aussies got 2 tries. They lost the ball on the first tackle there. And the Aussies scored on the back of it. So there's those little moments, isn't there?
They need to tidy that up. They just can't keep giving away easy ball, free ball to the Australian team.
Cam Smith, 3 from 5 tonight. Make it 4 from 6, as the lead is now 32 points to 6.
Yeah, we see here some tough, hard running from Tyson Frizzell. That's been the mode of the Australian team tonight. Clemmer, Woods and Josh Maguire, they've been barnstorming up through the middle, physical, tough, and getting some quick play the balls, winning that momentum. And as you mentioned, 59% of the ball in favour of Australia, and that hard running. Good luck stopping them.
Keep working. Keep working.
Been strong again, Clemmer. But all 6 tries for the Australians have been on their left-hand side. Wade Graham 3, Tyson Frizzell, that would have been Graham in that spot. Cameron Munster and Josh Dugan all on that left-hand side for the Aussies.
Will Chambers and Tom Trbojevic on the right, catching colds.
Up again, France in the face of the Aussies. Pelissier making the tackle on Clemmer. Morgan, Kaufusi. 10 short of halfway. Jason Batiri back on. Morgan, Clemmer again. Runs at Batiri. Garcia making the tackle as well. Smith. Morgan puts the foot down. Slater's on his inside, and Billy Slater gets the 7th Australian try on the back of Morgan, Smith, and then Slater.
Strap yourselves in. The Aussies are going on a rampage. 3 quick tries. Just have a look at this. Beautiful dummy by Morgan, and he looks inside. Who's there? Well, it is, of course, Billy Slater, always backing up the middle. He's first of the night. I reckon not his last.
And his 13th World Cup try, 36-6 with a kick to come. Now equals Bob Fulton and Jared Hayne for the most tries in World Cup history. But as soon as Cam Smith darts out of acting half, Billy Slater takes off. Easiest kick of the night for Cam Smith as Billy Slater gets his 13th World Cup career try to join Bob Fulton and Jared Hayne. 36-6. All the hard work at the moment for France starting to drift away. So Cam Smith adds an extra 2. First try scored on the right-hand side for the Aussies tonight, 38-6.
Here we just see Michael Morgan, just the pace just gets outside the French side with his pace, and Kafusi on the outside. And Billy Slater, he has been a fullback that has changed how all fullbacks have played the game. The best fullback in the game in support play. He is the hardest fullback to kick to positionally, so he catches so many balls on the full. He is in every set play, and he's learnt or taught every other fullback in the competition, you need to be a ball-playing fullback and a passer.
He's also fantastic in that backing up department, isn't he? In that way, I know he wasn't a fullback. He reminds me of Terry Lamb, who was always around the footy, especially when he was in a green and gold jersey.
Shoulder charge.
Shoulder charge. So penalty conceded. We tend to forget too, Darren Lockyer, for example, who was an outstanding player. When he moved from fullback to 5'8", people were saying, no, he's the best fullback, one of the best fullbacks the game's ever seen. Don't move him from fullback to 5'8". A lot of people forget that Darren was such a player at fullback, maybe as good a fullback as he was as a 5'8".
Yeah, just he ended up playing a lot more there, didn't he, at 5'8", but he was a magnificent player in the #1 jersey. It worked out very nicely, didn't it, and for Billy to be able to slot into that role.
Maguire, now Clemmer. Just haven't had any ball, France, since they dropped the ball after they received the penalty. Now there's a mistake from Billy Slater, just out in front of him. He made a mistake last week against England. He made up for it pretty quickly after that. And the match in the first game as Wade Graham is getting ready to come back on. Look for try number 4. 25 minutes remain. It's a sloppy play, the ball and the penalty. Woods involved again.
Do you want to make it official? Okay. Have it there.
So France with some possession down the Aussie end of the field, which they haven't had this half. Well, they did and dropped it. First tackle. Can they mount some pressure here?
Rouge. Been very rare for them to get into this part of the field.
Just the 3 tackles in the opposition 20 in the game, and they go back outside the 20 now. Varges across field, and Brazil with the tackle. McLean in there as well. Pelissier, short side. Bousquet, Big front rower. They're only 8 metres away. What have they got here, France? Pagès. Marginet now stepping. Can't get through there. It is the last tackle. Halfbacks to the left. Pagès, it comes to him. Kicking into the in-goal area. It's knocked on by Trbojevic, who was able to tidy up. Good kick, and they'll get a repeat set.
They had to play at it, and I think Trbojevic has called Billy off the ball here. Slater away from it. Tries to... Oh, that was dangerous. Nice stuff there by France. The repeat set, they really needed it.
Could easily have come off his boot there, and there was 3 Frenchmen chasing. Time Cam Smith, and it's a nice drop kick. Here comes the charge from Navarrete. 30 metres away. Pelissier has it out down. Margalet, Thibaut Margalet tackle. Thierry, Pelissier hit up and past it by Regan Campbell-Gillard. And he hasn't moved Eloi Pelissier.
Back here. Regan.
That
late hit.
Was late. I wonder how high it was.
Late hit. Regan.
You can see that one again. He was falling.
It was late.
Yeah, marginally late, and he's a much taller man, Campbell-Gillard, but you can't make contact with the head. I think someone's tipped the ref off there. He didn't call it initially.
Touch judges are there for. But the point being, if you're going in late, even if the player is falling, you've taken the odds to it. You would have paid the price if you hit him in the head. 10 out from the line. France. Margalet playing it. Pagès takes the ball back inside to Garcia. We're only 5 metres away. McLean slowing the play, the ball down. Pelissier, a little bit of confusion there. Margalet again. Pagès up quickly. Chambers, if they could have got it out to the winger, Yaha, he was unmarked. He was screaming for it. Here they go. Yaha finally gets it. Does well to pick it up. And trying to get back into some sort of attacking mode. Falls at the feet of Chambers. Last tackle. Pagès, the pass to Marginet. The long kick. Leaping high. Here's Bergal, but they can't do anything with it. It'll be a changeover.
Really good take there by Bergal. He just couldn't slip the football away. Nice kick, nice set, 2 in a row. They've turned the ball over where they need, and I reckon they would have got a bit of energy back out of that set, the French.
That's what having the football does, doesn't it? It gives you that energy. Strong defence there on McLean. One thing we know is the Australians will know they've been in a game at the end of the 80 minutes, won't they? Just regardless of what the score ends up. That was an awful play, the ball. Graham. On the inside, Navarrete just falling over his own feet there. It looked like as Corella returns the football. He's been impressive this week and last. As I said, he played 1 NRL game with the Sydney Roosters. Born in Sydney. Qualifies for France on the residency basis as the Frenchmen make another couple of changes. That is their 7th and 8th. Well, we've got 2 left with 20 minutes to go. It's a long way with only 2 interchange. In fact, it's 8 and 9. They've got 1 interchange left. Now, was that played at? And did he pick it up? No.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what come. Jason Mateer is offside. It's not played at.
Jason
I just wanted to
Patiri
see where we went.
ruled to be in an offside position.
Offside. Will, calm down. Calm down. Okay, Cameron.
19 to go. France has one interchange left.
Next line. Line, Jason.
And out of necessity, there has been an injury,
Yep.
but the rest by necessity, this is the fastest game these players would have been involved in. And they've done very well to hang in as well as they have and score that try.
Munster. Slater. Dugan. Defence is there. Rush defending in that right centre position. The absence of Arnaud. Smith. Morgan. Chambers. Chance for Trebojevic. Yaha stops him and gets some help. Great cover from France. Looked like they were going in there, the Kangaroos. Morgan kicking. Here comes Slater. And he dropped it. Or did it hit the crossbar? He dropped it. I reckon the crossbar distracted him. And Billy has dropped a gift.
That or the French player that jumped in front of the football, but it was a certain try. They went side to side, end up with a kick up the middle. He's got it in his hands. I've never seen him drop one of those.
Maybe Corella.
Get square, hold, go.
He was certainly distracted. He's gone onto the left wing, right wing now, and Tom Trebojevic has gone back to fullback.
Hold me. Hold, Jordan, hold.
Whoosh.
Two. Move, Wade.
It's the halfway line.
Three, keep off the ball. Back. Go.
Rogers. Garcia. 17 to go. I'd like to think too, on the back of this performance tonight from France, I know the game's not over, but they've done really well. They've got to play more international rugby league to get them better. Last tackle. Felissier. Rogers with a kick, and wasn't he absolutely smashed by Will Chambers. You could hear that back in Perpignan.
He did get smashed, and yeah, good point. They do need to play more internationals. They've got one more after this, and if they can win that, it's not a bad little kick in the end. If they can win that against England, I know it's a very, very tall order, but that's the only hope they've got of going further in this competition.
Wait till we're back. We're on the line, guys, please. Don't come over the
It's
line.
Cooper Cronk.
Stay
Boyd
there. Make sure
Corden
you
up
bind
looking
in,
on.
mate.
Big week for Cooper.
Michael, we're on me, please, okay? I'll tell you when to put it in. Are you in, Valentine? Head then. Make sure you come to them. Heads in. Stay there, Theo. Stay. Ball in. Out.
Mansour. Go down to the touchline. Brett Kamali, your thoughts on the French performance? I know there's still 16 to go. Well, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think they've been very good. They've been extremely brave. They're certainly a much better performance than what they showed against Lebanon last week. And I do agree, if the more rep football they play, the more you get the ability to handle the pace, the skill level, and you grow the game. So it's going to be interesting how the International Federation comes up with a new or a better policy to make these other divisions of teams a lot stronger.
Clean tackle. Right of the line, Morgan absolutely smashed by Jason Batiri, and he gets up to his feet. Smith charged down by Batiri. Tackle not played at, says the referee. Wow. Now looking for a 40-20, Billy Slater, and he gets it as well. Unbelievable. Billy Slater with a 40-20. Cameron Smith's been trying all night, and Billy Slater comes up with his first kick of the night. What about the hit?
I'll tell you when.
And now the Kangaroos are on the attack. Billy Slater with a 40-20. They get the ball back because he found touch inside the opposition 20 from inside his own 40. Smith. Munster into space. He gets himself 4. Wade Graham has got 4 tries in a test match. 3 in the first half, and now he's got 4 on the back of a Billy Slater 40-20.
He just has to turn up and call for the ball, and away he goes. Again, Wade Graham. Here's the 40-20 from Billy Slater. Not sure Corella realised that he kicked it from inside his own 40. Couple of passes wide, one decoy runner, short ball Munster, and Graham plunges over number 4. Can you believe it?
42-6 with a kick to come. Four tries in a career at international level is pretty good. 4 tries in a game, equaling the record from those tries in a match at the World Cup. Who would have thought, whether on the way to the ground, if an Australian player was to score 4 tries tonight, you could have had a number of picks and wouldn't have come up with Wade Graham.
Well, wouldn't have picked it forward for a start. And there's still 14 minutes to go. You just keep running those same lines outside of Munster and co, and you never know.
And it also shows how quality players do quality things out of nothing. Billy Slater, the ball was not played at, says the referee. And so if he would have been tackled, it would have been the changeover inside their own 40. He's come up with a 40-20, and on the back of that, Wade Graham has got try number 4 to equal the World Cup record. And Cam Smith adds another goal to make it 44-6.
Yes, while Wade Graham equals the record for 4 in a match, he obviously now becomes the leading try scorer for this year's World Cup. Michael Jennings and David Mead both scored 3 last week. Yes, games to come this weekend, but there is your leading try scorer in the 2017 World Cup.
Well, a question for both of you guys. Gary Belcher, how many tries did you score in your Test career?
I don't think I got 4. I think he's got me covered.
Brett Kamali, how many did you score in your Test career as Cam Smith comes from the field?
I don't know, Bod. I don't know, Mark. I think I better do some research.
Google us while you're down there. Noddy.
Restart from France. I mean, to score 4 in a career you'd be happy with, but I'm sure Wade Graham can't believe it. And there's a chance he can get 5 the way the Australians have played to that their left-hand side. Gary, you scored 3.
You want to just double check that?
On the drive home, you can tell us all about it. Now, Frizzell.
None of them memorable either.
10 short of halfway. Morgan. Kalfusi, Chambers, runs at Pages. And good defence again from France. They almost forced him into touch. Morgan, Maguire, Frizzell. Frizzell, where's Graham? He's lurking. Last tackle. Tyson Frizzell getting up slowly and limping. That is something that Mel Meninga does not want to see. Well taken. He was under pressure there, Yaha. Just was one of those floating kicks, and there was green and gold jerseys around him. Down to the touchline, Brett Kamali.
Well, nice to know I'm the leading try scorer in the car going home tonight. I have 5 in my Test career, so thank you, Gary.
There we go. So 8 between us as Corella goes away from half. Now, Tyson Frizzell's the worry here. Hopefully he'll run that out from an Australian perspective, but still limping on that left ankle. And David Clemmer's getting ready to come on, so Frizzell will be off and get the ice on it. I haven't seen Valentine Holmes tonight either.
No, well, he came in late. He was 18th man.
But you don't get a Test appearance unless you get on the field. Last tackle. Stop me. Now the kick out of acting half is out on the full. Marginet under pressure. You've got to hang on here, France. 11 to go. So Frizzella's coming off, and Clemmer's going to go on. And looks like Valentine Holmes is going to come on as well. Through the gap goes Morgan. Trbojevic back away from the touchline.
Where's Wade Graham?
Maguire. Clemmer. Graham's lurking out there to the left. Munster is at first receiver. Maguire out of acting half. McLean, they go the other way. The kick, was it played at? Wasn't, and France come up with it. Just lost their direction. Interesting now as Billy Slater comes off for Valentine Holmes to go on with no Cameron Smith.
And there's a battle out there. Well, there are battles for different positions in the Australian side. Al's made a bunch of changes, but of course Jake Trbojevic's locked forward position. Wade Graham's put his hand up for that. Josh Maguire's been fantastic tonight.
Interesting to see how they go with no Cameron Smith. Cooper Cronk or Billy Slater out there as well. The kick. Holmes attacks the football and brings it back towards the 40. A tackle made by Julien. They can keep them under 50, France. It's been a very good effort anyway, but from the scoreline perspective, it's that psychological barrier. Looks like an injury there to Bousquet as well as he goes back holding that bicep, and Dugan gets up limping. And there's the mistake from Regan Campbell. Gillard and Maguire. Monsters, Pelissier.
You've said that a few times tonight, Mark. Maguire has been so aggressive defensively.
34 tackles, 11 hit-ups for Josh Maguire. Yaha. France making their last interchange as Thibaut Margalet comes back on. So they're done and dusted change-wise, France. Tyson Frizzell confirmed that is an ankle injury. Josh Dugan seems to be running okay, but strapping coming off, and the ice will be going on pretty quickly.
Left side are good.
Kick from Fages, and Trbojevic is back there. It's on the goal line. Terrific kick and a good chase from France, but Tom Trbojevic does well also. Holmes. Chambers. Clemmer with a strong run. Thierry there to make the tackle again, and Bousquet there also. 28 tackles for Jason Thierry. Leads the way for France. Under pressure, Munster. The offload to Graham. Now to Mansour, who's playing inside Dugan. Down towards the 30, last tackle. They go to the short side. Dugan kicking. Carella's slipped, and the ball will bounce beautifully for Cameron Munster to get himself a double. The Aussies within 2.5 centuries. Josh Dugan down the touchline, and Cameron Munster gets 2 on debut.
I think the Frenchmen thought they had done enough in this set to repel the Aussies, but they picked a nice short side play. Wrong foot's the fullback, and Munster 2 for the night. He's had a very good game.
48-6 with a kick to come. I think when they went down that short side, and you've got a feel for Carella, who's been very good tonight. He just slipped on the dewy surface, couldn't get his feet back, and it was just the bounce that was going to be the thing for Cameron Munster, who's going to take over from Cameron Smith. Remy Marginet getting some treatment there. Is that some, maybe a cut to the head? They've been gallant, they've been courageous, they've been outclassed, but they can head back home with their heads held high. So Cameron Munster on debut with 2 tries. Now the chance to add a goal. Oh, it wasn't his best kick. He wasn't happy with it either. Still, it's 48 points to 6.
You see here Josh Mansour and a couple of new Australian players getting on the scoreboard tonight. It was certainly an up-in-class performance from Australia. They were not quite to perfection last week. Yes, they've made some mistakes today, but it looks like players are getting some match fitness, certainly getting some timing, and obviously a great scoreline at the moment. Just an update on Tyson Brazil. He got cleared of any damage. He's totally fine.
Well, that's good news for the Aussies. Take on Lebanon next week.
Keep working now.
Cam Smith is on the bike there on the bench. So there he is. A little bit of a nick under the eye. So inside the final 5 minutes, it'll be big here for France not to concede another try, so this score stays under 50.
I think that will be their target, and they've got some work to do, because it looks like the Australians are really keen to tick that over. A penalty there will help them as well.
And can Wade Graham get that 5th try? So a fine touch on the halfway line. Just over 12,000 here in Canberra tonight to watch this performance from the Australians, and the gutsy performance from France as well. He almost lost it, Graham. Clemmer.
He has played an international, Josh Maguire. You see him filling in here at dummy half. He's played at dummy half, hooker for Samoa.
Links with Dugan, does Munster. Graham was there as well. They go back towards Wade Graham. Here's a chance. Passes unselfishly back on the inside to Mansour. He's only 10 metres away from the line. Munster, Maguire, Clemmer, runs it Pelissier, and Margalet who make the tackle. It is the last. Maguire, McLean, long ball, Holmes for the corner and scores. Yaha can't make the tackle, and Valentine Holmes, fresh on the field, gets himself a try. We go to check.
Time, please.
Seem to be well inside the touchline.
Just looking at touch. Okay. So feet always appear to be in play there. And the other angle. Yeah, got a decision. We're going to the board.
Valentine Holmes wasn't expecting to play tonight, but gets a try, and the Aussies hit 50.
His feet were nowhere near the touchline. Must have been unsighted there. The sideline official for a moment, but he's a great finisher. Not much room at all to move, and still found the line with ease.
Two minutes to go. I'll be disappointed to concede that try, and 52 looks embarrassing, but it's been a courageous performance from France up against an Australian side who have played well. 10 tries, but 60% almost possession for the Kangaroos. And Munster, much better strike, but across the face. And so it remains 52 points to 6.
It's a good long ball that hits Valentine's Holmes on the chest. He does the rest. Put them past the 50 mark.
Inside the final minute, Regan Campbell-Gillard from a mile back runs at Bousquet, who makes the tackle. Calpusi runs at Pellissier, who makes the tackle as well. There's 3 involved in there. Jason Batiri and Julien there is also. McLean, 10 short of halfway. And they hang on here, France. Maguire. Trying to slow it down and off the line quickly. Pellissier stopped, and can we see Wade Graham score 5 tries in a World Cup match? Last tackle. Maguire looked for touch and couldn't find it. Follows his kick up and now forces the mistake. I don't think I've ever seen Josh Maguire kick a footy in a game, but they won't rush to the scrum. Australia wins its 2nd match in the Rugby League World Cup. 10 tries to 1, full time. Australia 52 has defeated France 6. Ten tries. It was 20 points to 6 at half time. And Wade Graham picks up the match ball. Why wouldn't he? 4 tries in a test match. Mansour having a chat, and the traditional, you don't see that too often nowadays, swapping of jerseys.
They'll be very keen to get those Aussie jerseys, the Frenchmen, perhaps vice versa.